What is up, people? We are back out here. It's been following weekend, or well, it's Friday, so I guess I don't know, depending on how your weekend goes. But we're back here with this new upper line, or kind of middle line. We still got to dig out that top part because didn't really get to it to smooth it out and do all that fun stuff. So we come to the berm. It's this little roller thing. So last weekend we actually started off camera because Garrett had the day off and I had to work, so he came out here by himself and dug around for a little bit. So yeah, there's that. So we're coming into this where we're gonna gap over our original trail over the berm, and we're gonna land on the back side of the berm. So this is pretty much what Garrett was doing last weekend for a few hours when I was at work. So we'll come here to the other side and we'll pow. There's the landing. So that's what we're working on today. We're gonna try to flatten it out a little bit more, just so it's not so steep. It's because it's a little sketchy. So yeah, I want to just kind of flatten it out a little bit more, make it a little longer, so we at least have like a good bike and a half length of landing. And there's this packer he made. Woo, solid multi-tool. So yeah, that's a quick little intro for today. So let's get into the hard work. Woo. Well, there goes pretty much the build for the landing. So I got this scraped out, so it's pretty flat now. A couple of little bumps probably got to scrape out. So the landing is much more kind of flat, not as super steep. Basically done with that. Before my camera dies, we'll come up to the top here and show you what Garrett was working on. There's the takeoff. Dug it down quite a bit. Try to give it a better run up and a better angle on how much you dug. But, and we are back, full battery and everything. So basically where we left off just before. This is the takeoff. Now it's a lot longer. You can at least get like most of the bike length on it, so it's not as kicky. And we sent it the other day a few times. Pretty smooth, still a little sketchy getting over the, very slim room for error, but it is nice. Smooth when you hit it clean. So now that we finished that for the most part, probably still need to do some shaping, nothing too major. We're gonna move on back up here. I guess you can see this is all loose. We do have a water thing, so we'll probably use that, keep moving that. We gotta get all this packed in and settled. There's that first roller. For the most part, we're working on today, this probably berm. get that packed in, get the ground a little more chiseled out so it's kind of more slanted this way instead of like a V shape. And then this is actually pretty solid still. And then we're also going to clean up this top part just to get a better run in, probably trim some of those trees. And yeah, that's pretty much it today for the day. At least that's originally planned. We might move back down past the berm jump and start something else. Depends on how long this takes, but yeah, let's just get straight into the digging. You. So after probably an hour and a half or so of digging, we've gotten this scraped out from the top, so it's a little bit smoother of a entrance. There's not a big old bump there. We actually got our little backpack full of water, so we were able to get some moisture in this concrete basically out here. So the berm's looking pretty nice now. Still needs a little bit of work. This is the bottom part, so this actually got scraped out. So it's a little bit more this way into the berm instead of like fighting against it. So this is nice and packed. Made it a little bit longer as well. It's nice and packed now. And as per usual, what starts out as a simple line keeps getting more and more complicated. So if we feel like it, this double pump might end up turning into a big gap into the big gap. We're not sure yet. We're gonna see how that comes out to play. You know what I mean? So, and then on top of that, come back down here towards our landing. Again, just adding more feature after feature. So there's the jump, landing. So coming out of the landing, we're now having just a little racer, nothing too crazy. Just gonna pop over here. And then we're gonna end up making this a big ass berm somewhere, that little line there. Kind of just getting it shaped and started. It's gonna loop all the way around, past the tree onto this main road, and then eventually there'll be another feature next to the big step down. We're gonna build something else on the side of it, which this one's gonna kind of go into. So that should be a fun build. Yeah, get into that. Let's get this berm built. Woo. Alright people, hope you enjoyed that little time lapse here. So here's just a little live view of it. So yeah, it's gonna be a big one. So again, that's the landing from our like berm jump gap. And then there's a little racer. Land somewhere in here, and then ba-boom. So it's gonna, you can kind of see where it's going. So it's gonna basically be a huge kind of bowled out big old berm. Like I said, it's gonna shoot around here, kind of taper out to here, and then back to the main road. And then again, we're gonna build something else next to our big old step down eventually. So we'll see how that turns out. And yeah, there's even off of this line, we've already thought of other things to go off of it or into something else to build. So yeah, stay tuned for all the fun. Whew, ride safe.